Dear soul, your arrival here was not an accident. The algorithms of this world may seem random, but the timing of heaven is precise. You did not click on this video by chance. You were guided here by a force far greater than your curiosity. The hand of God, the guidance of his angels, and the magnetic pull of your divine destiny have brought you to this exact moment, right now, as you listen to my voice. What you are about to hear is not just another motivational message, it is a prophetic decree over your life for this specific season. We are marking a turning point. God is preparing to move you physically, spiritually, and emotionally, and if you are honest with yourself, you can already feel that this transition has begun. This is not a simple change of address or a new job title. This is a revelation of who you truly are. Take a deep breath right now. Inhale deeply, hold it for a second, and exhale. Do you feel that agitation in your spirit? Do you feel that humming vibration beneath your skin? For the last few weeks, you have been labeling it as anxiety. You have been calling it stress. You have been worried that something is wrong with you, or that something bad is about to happen. But let me correct that perception right now. That is not anxiety. That is spiritual labor. The tension, the restlessness, that imminent sensation, attention. You need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you. And strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuzazara readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment that the other shoe is about to drop. These are sacred signs. You are not falling apart. You are being positioned for your next station. The Lord declares that He is doing a new thing, something that is already springing forth, making a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Your season of stagnation is ending, but before the new birth, there is always the pressure of the contraction. Perhaps you feel the walls closing in right now. Maybe your finances feel tighter than they have been in years, squeezing you to a point of desperation. Maybe relationships that used to be your safe harbor have suddenly grown distant, cold, or filled with inexplicable conflict. Maybe your spirit feels unsettled, waking you up in the middle of the night with a racing heart. Listen to me closely. This is not destruction. This is divine construction. Heaven is building your exit ramp. Every door that is slamming in your face right now is proof that you have outgrown the room you are standing in. Remember, God never relocates His children until the new place is ready, and He never allows this level of discomfort unless He is using it to push you out of a nest that has become too small for your wings. You are not being evicted from your life. You are being elevated to a higher vantage point. So do not fear the change that is in the air. The same God who guided Abraham out of his father's land into the unknown, the same God who parted the Red Sea when the enemy was closing in, is the same God guiding you right now. You are not being displaced, you are being deployed. Calm yourself for a moment, quiet the noise of your thoughts. If you listen closely, a voice behind you is saying, "This is the way. Walk in it." Faith does not need a map. It only needs your yes. What was once familiar now feels strange because God has already upgraded your operating system. You have walked through the valley of humility, you have eaten the bread of sorrow, but now honor is approaching like the dawn. But there is something specific we must address today. There is a specific blockage, a specific plan that has been orchestrated against you, and today we are declaring that it is backfiring. The title of this message mentions her evil plan. Now you know exactly who or what comes to mind when I say that. For some of you, it is a literal person. A co-worker who smiles in your face but spreads poison behind your back. A family member who has always secretly competed with you. Or a false friend who drained your energy for years. For others, she represents a spirit of lack, a spirit of chaos, or a recurring cycle of self-sabotage that has tried to keep you small. There has been a plot to tarnish your name, to block your resources, and to keep you in a state of confusion. But I am here to tell you that divine justice has arrived. The trap that was set for you is about to become the trap that catches the one who set it. Before we go deeper into how this justice will manifest, I need you to understand the signs that this shift is happening. You need to recognize the symptoms so you don't mistake your breakthrough for a breakdown. The first sign that you are being activated for this new level is a profound, unshakable feeling of not belonging. It is a holy restlessness. Have you walked into your workplace recently, looked around and thought, I don't fit here anymore? Have you sat at dinner with old friends and realized the conversation feels shallow, like you are speaking a different language? This is the equivalent of a butterfly pressing against the walls of the cocoon. The cocoon was necessary for a season. It protected you. It sheltered you while you were transforming. But if the butterfly stays in the cocoon one day too long, it dies. The discomfort you are feeling is God's way of ensuring you don't get comfortable in a place you were meant to leave. You might be asking, why is this happening now? Because your tolerance for mediocrity has expired. God is stripping away your ability to settle. In the past, you could tolerate the toxic boss, you could put up with the passive-aggressive comments, you could handle the financial struggle. But suddenly, you have zero tolerance. This is not you becoming impatient. This is you becoming aligned. Your spirit is vibrating at a frequency that can no longer harmonize with the dysfunction around you. Now, I want to touch on something very practical that has been happening to many of you. It's the phenomenon of the watchman's hour. If you have been waking up between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. repeatedly, without an alarm, without a crying baby, without a noise outside, this is not insomnia. Stop reaching for the sleeping pills and start reaching for your journal. In both spiritual tradition and biological science, this time is significant. Biologically, your melatonin levels are peaking, your body temperature is at its lowest, and your brain is in a state between theta and alpha waves. This is a state of deep receptivity. Spiritually, the veil between the physical and the spiritual is at its thinnest. The Holy Spirit is waking you up because the world is quiet. The distractions of the day, the emails, the traffic, the demands of others are silenced. God wants to download strategies into your spirit. He wants to whisper secrets about your future that you are too busy to hear at noon. If you have been waking up at 3 a.m. feeling an urgent need to pray, or just feeling wide awake with a sudden clarity about a problem, that is a divine appointment. God is saying, prepare yourself. He is giving you the battle plan for the victory that is coming. The next time this happens, do not toss and turn in frustration. Get up. Go to a quiet place. Ask, Lord, what are you saying? You will be amazed at the ideas, the peace, and the direction that flows to you in those silence-filled hours. But let's talk about the opposition. Let's talk about the evil plan that is about to backfire. We live in a world of cause and effect, a world governed by spiritual laws, just as real as the law of gravity. One of these laws is the law of sowing and reaping. There are people in your life, or perhaps one specific individual, who has been sowing discord, sowing lies, and sowing obstacles in your path. They thought that by burying you, they were ending you. They did not realize they were burying a seed. There is a story in the ancient texts about a man named Haman. Haman built a gallows, a structure of execution intended for a man named Mordecai. Haman had the ear of the king. He had the power, the influence, and the strategy. By all worldly metrics, Mordecai was finished. The plan was perfect, the date was set. But God, there is always a but God in the story of the chosen ones. The very night before the execution was to take place, the king could not sleep. That same divine insomnia we just talked about. God used it on the king. The king asked for the records to be read, and he discovered that Mordecai had saved his life years prior and had never been honored. In a twist of divine irony that only heaven could script, Haman, the man who built the trap, was forced to honor Mordecai, and eventually Haman was caught in the very trap he built for his enemy. This is what is happening in your life right now. The rumors that were spread to ruin your reputation, they are about to amplify your visibility so that the right people can see your integrity. The rejection you faced from that group or that partner, it was God's protection to keep you from being unequally yoked with people who could not carry your destiny. The financial blockages, they were forcing you to develop the discipline and the creativity that will be the foundation of the wealth that is coming. Her plan, the plan of the enemy, was to break you, but God is using it to make you. Let me pause here and ask you a question. Can you look back at your life and see a moment where something you thought was a tragedy turned out to be a blessing? Maybe you lost a job and you were devastated, only to find a career path that fulfilled your soul in ways the old job never could. Maybe a relationship ended and you thought you would never recover, but now you see how toxic it truly was. If God did it then, why do you doubt He is doing it now? The script has not changed. The method is the same. He uses the weapon formed against you to forge the steel within you. The boomerang effect is real. When someone throws negative energy, malice, or deception at a child of God, they are throwing it against a spiritual shield. Eventually, that energy has nowhere to go but back to its source. You do not need to seek revenge. You do not need to defend yourself in the comment section. You do not need to gossip to clear your name. Silence is your loudest defense. Stand still and watch the salvation of the Lord. The truth has a way of rising to the surface like oil in water. It cannot be held down forever. Now, I want to speak to the feeling of isolation some of you are experiencing. You feel like you are walking this path alone. Friends have drifted away. Family members don't understand your vision. You share your dreams, and you are met with blank stares or cynical remarks. This is painful, I know. We are social creatures. We crave connection. But this isolation is a sanctified separation. You are being set apart. Think of an eagle. Eagles do not fly in flocks like pigeons or starlings. You find them one by one, soaring at altitudes other birds cannot reach. If you are going to fly high, you have to be willing to fly alone for a season. The people who fell away, they were not bad people necessarily. They were just people for a different altitude. They were equipped for your history, not your destiny. Do not try to drag them with you. If you try to carry people who are not assigned to your future, they will become dead weight that prevents you from reaching the summit. Bless them, release them, and trust that God is preparing a new tribe for you. There are divine appointments ahead, connections with people who will speak your language, who will understand your spirit without you having to explain yourself, and who will fuel your fire instead of trying to put it out. Before I reveal the next crucial sign of your transition, I want to challenge you. If you are receiving this message, if you feel these words resonating in your chest like a drumbeat, I want you to engage with this energy. Go to the comments right now and declare, "I am ready for my upgrade." Don't just think it, type it. There is power in your agreement. When you write it down, you are taking a physical action to align with a spiritual truth. And while you are there, if you haven't already, join our community by subscribing. We are gathering the chosen ones, the cycle breakers, the light bearers. You do not have to walk this journey alone. Now let's talk about the construction site of your life. I mentioned earlier that this is not destruction, but construction. Have you ever lived near a building that was being renovated? It's messy. There is dust everywhere. There is noise. The structure is exposed. The pipes are visible. The walls are torn down. It looks like a disaster. If you didn't know better, you would think the building was being demolished. But the architect knows that to build a modern, beautiful, functional space, the old rotting structures must be removed. God is the architect of your life. Right now, He is tearing down the mindsets of poverty that have run in your family for generations. He is ripping out the plumbing of emotional trauma that has been leaking poison into your relationships. He is stripping the wallpaper of people-pleasing that you have used to cover up your true self. It feels messy. You feel exposed and vulnerable. You might feel like you are standing in the rubble of your life, but look at the blueprint. He is building a palace where a shack used to stand. This brings us to the Joseph archetype. Many of you are living through a Joseph moment. Joseph was a dreamer. He had a vision of greatness. But his path to that greatness was not a straight line up. It was a spiral down. He was betrayed by his brothers, family trauma. He was thrown into a pit. He was sold into slavery, economic hardship. He was falsely accused by Potiphar's wife, reputational attack. There is her evil plan again. He was thrown into prison and forgotten. If you looked at Joseph's life in the middle of the story, you would say God had abandoned him. You would say the prophecy was a lie, but God was positioning him. In prison, Joseph developed his gift of interpretation. He learned administration. He learned humility. And then, in one single day, mark my words, in 24 hours, he went from a prisoner in a dungeon to the Prime Minister of Egypt. He didn't have to apply for the job. He didn't have to campaign. When the time was right, the gift made room for him. You are closer to your suddenly moment than you realize. The delays you have experienced were not denials. They were development. You are being trained to handle the weight of the glory that is coming. If you had received this blessing 5 years ago, your character would not have been strong enough to sustain it. You would have been crushed by it. But now you have been tested in the fire. You have learned to pray when things are hard. You have learned to trust when you cannot see. You are ready. So, what is the practical application for you today, January 22nd? What do you do with this information? You cannot just sit on the couch and wait for a bag of money to drop through the ceiling. Faith without works is dead. You must partner with this prophecy. First, you must clean your house, literally and spiritually. The energy of the new cannot enter a space cluttered with the old. Go through your closet. If you are holding on to clothes that belong to the version of you that was depressed, broke, and defeated, get rid of them. Clean your physical environment. Wash the windows. Let the light in. This signals to the universe that you are preparing for a guest. You are preparing for the new season to enter. Second, you must change your confession. Stop agreeing with the enemy. Stop saying, "I'm so broke. I'm so tired. Nothing ever works out for me." Your words are containers for power. When you speak defeat, you are signing a contract with the opposition. Cancel those contracts today. Start saying, "I'm in a season of transition. My needs are met. Opportunities are looking for me." It will feel fake at first. Do it anyway. You are rewiring your reticular activating system, RAS, in your brain to spot opportunities instead of obstacles. Third, forgive her. Forgive the person or the people who set the trap. This is the hardest part, I know. You want justice. You want to see them suffer. But here is the secret. Holding on to unforgiveness is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. It binds you to them. It keeps you in the same energy field as the trauma. When you forgive, you are not saying what they did was right. You are saying, I refuse to let your actions control my emotions for one more second. You are cutting the energetic cord. Release them to God. His justice is far more precise and effective than your revenge could ever be. Let the boomerang effect handle them while you walk into your freedom. There is a concept in psychology and spirituality called the void. It is the space between the old life ending and the new life beginning. It is the hallway. It is the neutral zone. Most people panic in the void. They rush back to the old ex because they are lonely. They take the old dead-end job back because they are scared of the uncertainty. Do not panic in the void. Stand your ground. The void is not empty. It is fertile. It is the womb of creation. I want to speak to the ones who are over 35, 40, 50 and feel like they have missed their window. Society tells you that if you haven't made it by 30, you are finished. That is a lie from the pit. Moses started his mission at 80. Colonel Sanders started his franchise at 65. Vera Wang entered the fashion industry at 40. The spiritual timeline is not linear. God can redeem time. He can accelerate you so fast that you overtake those who started 20 years before you. The years the locusts have eaten will be restored. You have wisdom now that you didn't have at 20. You have emotional intelligence. You have scars that have turned into stars. You are not too old. You are just now ripe. Listen to the wind. Can you hear it? It is the sound of a turning page. The chapter of the victim is closing. The chapter of the victor is opening. The evil plan that was meant to humiliate you is about to become your testimony. You will stand in front of people and say, let me tell you what the enemy tried to do, and let me show you how God flipped it. I want you to visualize something with me. Close your eyes if it is safe to do so. Imagine you are standing at the edge of a great river. The water is murky, fast, and intimidating. This is your Jordan River. On the other side is your promised land, the peace of mind, the financial abundance, the loving relationships, the purpose you crave. You have been camping on the edge of this river for a long time, afraid to cross. But today, the water is beginning to part. The stones are appearing. It is time to step in. The first step will be wet. It will be cold. It will require courage. But as soon as your foot touches the water, the path will solidify. You are a chosen one. This title is not about ego. It is about responsibility. It means you have been selected to break generational curses. It means the dysfunction stops with you. It means you are the one who changes the trajectory of your family line. It is a heavy burden, yes, but you have broad shoulders. You were built for this. As we move through the rest of this month, watch for the coincidences. Watch for the repeating numbers, 1111, 222, 404. These are synchronicities, little winks from the universe letting you know you are on the right track. Watch for the random phone call from an old contact. Watch for the book that falls off the shelf. Pay attention. Your intuition is your GPS. Stop ignoring it. If something feels off, it is off. If something feels light and expansive, move toward it. Let's address the finances one more time, because I sense a heavy cloud of worry over many of you regarding money. The spirit of poverty is a mindset of scarcity. It whispers, there is never enough. It makes you hoard. It makes you fearful. It makes you envy others. But the kingdom of God is a kingdom of abundance. Look at nature. Does the oak tree worry about running out of leaves? Does the ocean worry about running out of water? Abundance is the natural state of the Creator. The blockage is often in our capacity to receive. We block blessings because deep down, we don't feel worthy of them. We think we have to suffer to be holy. We think money is evil. Money is just energy. It is a tool. In the hands of a good person like you, money builds orphanages, feeds the hungry, and creates art. God wants to resource you because He knows you will use it for good. The plan to bankrupt you is breaking. The flow is returning. Be open to income from unexpected sources. It may not come from your 9 to 5. It may come from a creative idea, a settlement, a gift, or a side hustle you start. Keep your hands open, not clenched. And regarding her, that antagonist in your story, do you know that in every great movie, the hero needs a villain? The villain pushes the hero to discover their superpowers. Without Goliath, David is just a shepherd boy playing a harp. Goliath was necessary for David's promotion. So, in a strange way, you should thank her. Thank the opposition. They pushed you to your knees, which is the most powerful position you can be in. They forced you to find God. They forced you to find your inner strength. Their role in your movie is over now. The credits are rolling on their scenes. You are moving into the sequel, and they are not in the cast list. This is a decree of liberation. The chains of the past are falling off. The anxiety that has wrapped around your chest like a python is loosening its grip. You are breathing free air. I want to leave you with a challenge for the next 7 days. It is the complaint fast. For the next week, try your absolute hardest not to complain about anything, not the weather, not the traffic, not your bills, not your pain. Every time you feel the urge to complain, replace it with a phrase of gratitude. I hate this traffic becomes, I am thankful I have a car to drive. I hate my job becomes, I am thankful I have income while I look for better. This shifts your vibration instantly. It moves you from the frequency of lack to the frequency of having, and to those who have, more will be given. You are standing on holy ground. The bush is burning, and it is not consumed. The presence of the divine is thick in your life right now. Do not be distracted by the noise of the world. Turn off the news. Turn off the gossip. Tune into the frequency of heaven. There is a reason you stayed until this part of the video. It's because your spirit knows this is truth. You are not crazy. You are not imagining things. The shift is real. The upgrade is loading. Do not abort the process right before the breakthrough. Remember, the night is darkest just before the dawn. You have endured the night. You have wrestled with the angel. You have walked with a limp. But the sun is rising over Peniel. You are receiving your new name. You are no longer the rejected one. You are the chosen one. You are no longer the victim. You are the victor. As you go about your day, carry this knowing with you. Walk with your head high, shoulders back. You are royalty. The Creator of the universe has your back. No weapon formed against you shall prosper. Every tongue that rises against you in judgment shall be condemned. That is your heritage. That is your right. The evil plan has failed. The trap has sprung, and it is empty of you, but full of the enemy's own devices. You have escaped like a bird from the snare of the fowler. The snare is broken, and you have escaped. Fly, eagle, fly. The sky is yours. The limitations are an illusion. The potential is infinite. I speak peace over your mind. I speak healing over your body. I speak abundance over your bank account. I speak restoration over your relationships. I speak fire over your spirit. Receive it. Believe it. Walk in it. This is your time. This is your turn. This is your January 22nd. If this message has blessed you, do not keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs this confirmation. Like the video to help the algorithm find other lost sheep, and subscribe to lock in your connection with this tribe. We are rising together. We are ascending. The view from the top is going to be magnificent. Until next time, stay in the light, stay in the truth, and remember, you are watched over, you are guided, and you are deeply, deeply loved. The best is yet to come. Now go and be great. The world is waiting for your light. Amen. Let's go a little deeper into the specific mechanics of this backfire I mentioned. Spiritual laws are precise. The law of retribution isn't just about punishment, it's about balance. When someone knowingly disrupts the balance of another's life through malice, the universe seeks to correct that imbalance. This is why you often see people who have wronged you suddenly facing the exact same struggles they wished upon you. It's not that God is vindictive, it's that the energy they sent out had to return home. Think of the person who tried to sabotage your project at work. Suddenly, their own projects are failing or facing scrutiny. Think of the person who tried to isolate you from your friends. Now they find themselves lonely, seeking connection but finding none. This is the backfire. It is the spiritual immune system kicking in to protect the body of the faithful. But your job in this process is crucial. You must not gloat. This is a very subtle spiritual trap. If you see her plan backfiring and you laugh, or you feel a sense of malicious joy, you are lowering your vibration to match theirs. You are stepping back into the mud. Instead, when you see justice being served, feel compassion. Understand that they are learning a hard lesson, just as you have learned yours. Pray for their enlightenment. This level of spiritual maturity is what qualifies you for the promotion. God cannot trust you with power if you are going to use it to crush your enemies. He trusts you with power when he knows you will use it to bless even those who cursed you. Let's talk about the new doors that are opening. Often we are so focused on the door that slammed shut that we stare at the doorknob, crying, banging on the wood, begging it to open again. Meanwhile, down the hallway, a massive double door has swung open, flooding the corridor with light. But we can't see it because we are staring at the closed door. The closed door was a mercy. If that relationship had continued, it would have destroyed your self-worth. If that job had kept you, it would have burned you out and caused a health crisis. Thank God for the closed doors. They are the guardrails on your path to destiny. Now turn your head, look down the hallway. Do you see the light? That is the new opportunity. It might look different than you expected. Maybe the new career path is in a field you never considered. Maybe the new partner doesn't look like your type, but treats you like gold. Be open to the packaging being different than your order. God answers prayers, but he often delivers the package in a way that surprises us. I sense that some of you are dealing with imposter syndrome. As these new opportunities arise, a voice in your head says, "Who are you to do this? You're not qualified. You're not smart enough. You're too old, young, broken." That voice is the last-ditch effort of the enemy to stop you. It is a lie. You are qualified not by your degrees, but by your calling. God does not call the qualified. He qualifies the called. David was not qualified to be king. He was a shepherd. He smelled like sheep. He had no royal training, but he had a heart for God. That was his qualification. You have been through the fire. You have survived 100% of your bad days. You have wisdom, attention. You need to prepare now. I put together an exclusive resource for those who feel set apart for something greater, but live surrounded by noise, distractions, and mental overload. This is a 30-day journey that will transform your life. A guided path to armor your mind and prepare for what's coming with daily practices of focus, boundaries, and discipline. Stop negotiating with the noise. Learn to spot distractions before they control you. And strengthen your mind. Also available in an immersive audio version. Over 10 Zuru readers have already transformed their lives through the 30-day journey. Thousands of people have already started this transformation. People like you who are tired of living in the fog. Ordinary people who decided to stop accepting mental chaos. Take advantage of this limited time offer only this month. Access your link just below in the pinned comment.